Welcome, everyone, to Aging and Spirituality, where it is our goal to share ways to enjoy the ways we can live a more rewarding, fulfilling, and fun life after 60. I'm Chris
Fun,
Jensen.
but I want to have some fun. I'm
Yes,
Kathy. Hey, everyone.
I think the fun is important.
Yes.
Good to laugh, good to have fun. As we move through life, especially as we grow older, one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves is, what am I choosing? And that's what I want to talk about today, and we both want to share. It's not about just what do I say I want, or not just what do I hope will happen someday, but what am I actually giving my time, my attention, and my emotional energy to?
Mm.
Because our attention is one of the greatest gifts we have. Wherever we place it, we're giving life to that part of ourselves. If we spend hours worrying, we're strengthening worry. We spend hours energy comparing ourselves to others, we're strengthening comparison. If we're constantly focusing on what's wrong, we're strengthening that way of seeing the world. But the same is true for the things that uplift us. Here's the good part. If we give our time to meditation, reflection, kindness, creativity, love, spiritual practice, we're strengthening those qualities in ourselves. Our attention is not just something we have, our attention is something we give. And what we give ourselves to shape who we become.
Hmm. That's such an interesting way of looking at it, a different perspective. Because most of the time, when you say to people, and I wrote something about this the other day, if you ask them, "What do I want?" they freak out. There's like the body seizes up, the mind seizes up because they have asked that question a lot of times and they don't have an answer for it. So they start spinning in a cycle, and this makes it really like clear. What do you want to focus on? What are you choosing to have in your environment, in your space, in your world, in your life, in your words, in your time? It
Mhm.
just like softens the whole idea. I really like how that feels.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I mean, it's so true. And in yoga, there's a very beautiful understanding that the universe is always responding to our deepest aspirations. So if someone truly wants to know their true self, their inner self, if they want to have a greater experience of peace, love, wisdom, connection, that desire itself is meaningful. The path is available. But there is also a chance to ask, am I choosing it? Um, if I say I want to have deeper meditations, but I don't make much time to meditate, or I'm squeezing it in like another chore, what am I really choosing? Right?
Frustration, believe us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I say I want more peace, but I continue feeding habits that create stress and agitation, what am I strengthening? The peace and the agitation, no, the stress and the agitation.
Yep.
Every choice is a direction. And sometimes the things we don't choose are just as important as the things we do choose. Because saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else often. When we choose meditation, we're saying no to a few more minutes of distraction. When we choose meaningful relationships, we may be saying no to some habits of isolation. When we choose our spiritual growth, we may be saying no to some of the things we have simply done because we have always done them.
Habit.
Habit. So we're going to go through a bunch of things that can help us to fine tune what we're choosing.
Hmm.
So the first one's called the attention audit. At least that's what I call it. For 1 week, become a witness of your attention. At the end of every day, ask yourself, where did my attention go today? Don't do it with judgment, just do it with awareness. How much went towards the things that nourish me, the things that drain me, the things I truly value, things I do out of habit or expectation?
Yikes. I
Yeah.
better forget to do that
And
one.
then ask, did my attention today move me closer to the person I want to be?
You want to become. I
Yep.
like that. Oh, I'm going to keep that one.
Yep.
Did my attention today move me closer to the person I want to
Yep.
become? That's a powerful one.
Every day. Awareness comes before change. So I would do that every day. I think it's so critical. So that's one of the first things. It's just at the end of the day, ask yourself those questions and be open. Don't do it with judgment, just do it with love. And now the next practice is what matters most question. Many people, especially as we age, discover that life becomes less about adding more and more about recognizing what's truly important. So each morning, ask yourself, if I could give my energy to 3 things today, what would it be? Maybe it's my spiritual practice, my health, my family, serving others, creating something, learning, experiencing beauty, whatever it is. 3 things. Then make sure your day reflects those choices. Great way to start. Don't let the most important things receive whatever time is left over. You know, the Yoga Center guru often, repeatedly has said this to people. You come and you say you want these deep spiritual experiences, and you're frustrated because you don't have them. But the time you give to these things that would bring you closer to having those experiences are getting your leftover time. What's ever left over at the end of your day? Give your highest values your best energy, not your least energy.
Yeah.
That's hard. We're all busy people, but what are we going to do at the end of our life? Say, hey, God, I'm so glad I was so busy.
Thanks for being busy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. So that's another one. You know, what matters most? Give your highest values your best energy. The third one is replace habit with what you intention, what you really want. Much of life happens automatically. We wake up, we follow the same patterns. We spend time the same way. We react the same way. But aging can be a powerful, powerful opportunity to become different, to be more intentional. Before doing something out of habit, pause and ask, is this something I truly want to give my energy to? Not this is bad. I'm not having any kind of judgment. This is simply I want to give my energy to. Not should I stop? Or not, is this something I should do? Simply, is this the direction I want my life energy to go? I was just talking to someone that I had worked with at one of my jobs a while ago, and he just quit his job, and he's very excited because he said, I've started these 3 little ventures. He said they're all based on my passions. He had a passion for history and travel, and I thought, you know, that is really wonderful. He has decided where he wants his energy to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Not in a 9 to 5 job where everybody controls your time and your life.
Yeah. And you have no time for anything else.
No time for your own passions.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it was very interesting. I
Mhm.
just had that conversation yesterday with this person, and I thought, well, that's really what I'm thinking about.
Yep.
And then there's another thing you can do. Create a sacred appointment with yourself. And if this is something, if we have something important, we schedule it. We schedule doctor appointments, right? We don't just leave them to chance, fit them in when we can. We schedule meetings, we schedule activities. But many people leave their inner life for when there is time.
Yeah.
So make an appointment with your deeper self. Put it on your calendar. This is my time for this. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's prayer, walking in nature, reading spiritual teachings, just reflection, quiet reflection. Whatever it is for you, make some time for it. I mean, I think is so important. You know, consciously choosing to make some time for it.
Well, you won't make any change in your life if you don't do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing's going to happen. If you
right.
don't set that intention and hold yourself accountable to that commitment, you're not going to include any of these things that are important to you, to your life. I
Yep.
mean, like who teaches meditation and prayer and walking in nature? And nobody,
Yeah.
nobody,
Yeah.
puts that as a priority activity, right? So if that's a yearning of your heart, you have to be the one to
Yep.
pay attention and to make sure that you get that scheduled into your day.
Even start with 10 minutes, this matters. I choose
That's the
this.
thing. Yeah.
I choose this.
I
And
say that all the time, especially with meditation. I don't have time to meditate. Just sit your tush down for 5 minutes and let your mind settle. That's all, you don't have 10 minutes a day, then don't call me back.
Yeah, 10 minutes a
Like,
day. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we don't have time to not meditate, I think, but
yeah. Well,
in yoga, we always say start with 15-minute meditation. It can be life-changing. It takes 12 minutes for the average mind to calm down. All you need are those 3 good minutes, and you can have a life-changing experience.
that's a really interesting perspective for anybody who just did not hear what she said. Give it 15 minutes and let your mind calm down. And in 12 minutes, you can, it's like you can set aside the worry and the anxiety. This is not going to happen for me. I know that if I sit here with the right intention to have my mind be silent and keep myself focused on whatever that practice is when we teach meditation, I know that this is going to happen. That shift will happen at 12 minutes, and I'll get 3 minutes of being able to experience what it feels like to transition from the mind, to move past the mind and the senses and all of the stuff that we have going on a daily basis. And then I can use that reference point to be able to bring me back to that place every time over and over again. So hear that really clearly. That what you just said is not a little thing.
Yeah, 15
15
minutes
minutes.
can change your life. Oh, I'll tell you the interesting thing, when I first started yoga and I heard this, I thought, well, I better set my timer, make sure I give it to the 15 minutes. And I was trying to meditate and I thought, oh, surely this has been, my timer's not working. And I looked and it had been like 5 minutes, And, but, I learned. I learned from that. So, whatever it takes, at least 15 minutes, because you need those 3 good minutes.
Yeah. And guess what? From what she was just saying, that at first your mind will struggle with wanting to be in that silence.
Yeah,
And then the day will come when you sit for that 15 minutes and you open your eyeballs and an hour has gone by
yeah,
and you have no clue
yeah,
where.
yeah,
Now you've entered
yeah,
the right terrain. Now you're in the place where soul can get a hold of you
yeah,
and you can receive it, and this is the beginning of being able to work together
yeah.
as co-creators in the world, and that's exactly what you want from your meditation,
Mhm. Yep,
to be
that's
able
it.
to have that relationship. So that's critical.
And there is another reflection you could do. You could do these at different times of the day, in the evening, before you go to sleep. What did I give my attention to today? What gave me it? What drained me? What is one thing I want to choose more consciously tomorrow?
Yeah.
So if I look at my day and I said, oh, yes, I did this thing, it drained my energy, I did it out of habit. What do I want to do different tomorrow? What can I consciously choose tomorrow?
I like to say, what makes me feel lit up?
I like that.
What makes me feel
Yeah.
alive? What
Yeah.
did I do today that
Yep.
makes me feel alive?
I like that a lot.
Yeah, follow
Mhm.
that one. That's the right feeling.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And actually, you can turn your whole life into a spiritual practice that way just by choosing. And aging gives us a precious gift. It gives us perspective that we may not have had when we were younger. We were
Yeah.
too busy to have it. Uh, we begin to recognize that our time and our energy are not unlimited. That's the big difference. And that is not something to fear. It's an invitation to ask, what do I truly want to experience in this life? What do I want to become? What deserves my attention?
Can I ask you a question? Because this is something that I know a lot of people, when they're aging, they're going through these different levels of fear and recognition. And as you said, the change in perspective of what life means to them now, learning this discernment, having all these questions about what do I want to do with my last 10 years, my last 20 years, whatever it is. When you, and I'm asking you personally, have that awareness that time is passing, time is passing and I know I have a finite amount of it left, because I have this thought often. I have a finite time amount of it left. And like today, I had a day where I spent time with my son. This is exactly what I would do if I knew that my day was numbered. This
Mhm.
was my last day. I would have done exactly what I did today. I would have spent time with my son.
Mhm.
So I'm asking, like, from a yogic point of view, what do people do when they have that feeling? They get that awareness, my time is limited, and now they're either going to be in fear or they're going to be in a place of hopefully love. But how do you work with that?
So you have to ask yourself, how do I want to spend this time? Do I want to spend it in angst and worry? Or do I want to spend it in love and openness? And, it's hard to overcome fear. There's a very nice yoga practice called being in the now, where you kind of close your eyes and just relax. And then whatever thoughts come into your mind, if it's fear of the future, you say the future hasn't happened yet. You try to shed it. Or if it's something from the past is dead, and you try to shed that. You just try to relax and be in the moment for this very short period of time that you're reflecting, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That can help to get out of the fear, but again, it's a choice. It's a choice.
And what you just said actually is a very much an acceptance process.
Mm.
It's a process of saying, this is where I am here and now.
Yes.
And I'm
Yep.
choosing not to be in fear because I know it's not going to help me, and it's not
Yep.
going to make my next few
Yep.
minutes any juicier or better,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
improve my life in any way.
Yep.
So I'm accepting where I am, and I'm at peace with that. I kind of bring it into my heart. I'm at peace with that. This is who I am and where I am now, and it's okay.
Yep.
And then from there, I can let go of the idea that, yeah, time is passing. So what?
Yeah.
Still
Absolutely.
going to do what I choose to do today.
Yeah. So we make choices. I mean, because every moment we choose where our awareness goes, we're creating our life.
Yeah.
So we have to ask ourselves that in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
Yep.
And never judge yourself. Oh, if you had a day where you just did habitual things or things. So you look at it and you say, okay, I'm choosing something different tomorrow. Choose something different.
That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope that helps because it's been so helpful to me.
Yeah.
I think about that often. Okay, is this what I'm really choosing to do right now? Why don't I put more time? I say I want this, why don't I put more time into it?
I have another question before, I know you're getting to the end of your talk, but I want to see if I can just suss out this idea. Also, as I get older, I'm saying to myself, I'm really starting to not like that term older, but as time goes by, I, I, I'll do what you're talking about in terms of the process of acceptance, right? And then I'll have an idea, what do I want to choose? What am I going to do today? And then there'll be moments when it's like, I don't know, because I don't really have a sense of what's important to me on this day, or I don't feel really passionate or lit up about something. And I've kind of been waiting for, something new, or for answers to come to me, or whatever it is. And I wonder if you have do you just accept that and keep going, or is there a process where you say to yourself, okay, I'm not really clear about what it is that I want today, or what I want to choose, so what would be a way to get an answer that you'd feel more fulfilled about?
Well, if you're not clear, then maybe you say, I need a little time for reflection. Or or another thing to do is to look at what you are doing and saying, well, why am I doing this? Is this fulfilling? Is this, I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like what choice are you making? Like maybe you make priorities. When people start yoga, we used to have them write down their top 10 priorities in life. And then we told them to throw out everything past the first one. Because if you have 9 or 10 priorities, you're not gonna go anywhere. So,
Just get one.
get one, and find a way to commit your energy to that. So
That
that's
makes
my
sense.
thought. That's my thought.
Okay.
And you can do it by also letting go of the things you don't want. I don't want this.
Well,
want that.
that's one of the parts of this process is that saying no comes a lot more than it used to. You
Yes.
know, like no, I don't want to. I've
Yeah,
been doing
right.
a lot of
Right.
that,
So
even
that's a way of getting to what you want. I don't want this. I don't
getting to
want
the
that.
clarity
Right.
quicker.
Yeah, it's getting you to clarity quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, I have found I say no to a lot more these days, and I'm,
Yes.
struggling with my health. When I say struggling, I mean still dealing with pain with my back and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I keep thinking, this has gone on long enough. I don't,
Yep.
there's not enough lessons coming from this that I need to keep doing this
Yeah.
nonsense. I need this to be gone. And so you kind
Yeah.
of get, when you're in one of those cycles, you kind of get out of the habit of being
Mhm.
focused on what you're passionate about, moving forward in that energy, because you
Yeah.
had spent a lot of time in pain management. So
Yeah.
that was one of the questions that I had for you, and sure there's other listeners that
Yeah,
have
I'm sure. We all
similar
have that.
needs.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, folks.
Have fun with this. And, if you have questions, let us know. Let us know how you're working with this stuff, because this is an ongoing process for us, for everybody.
All the time, all the time.
It's a matter of focusing, putting our energy on the places that we choose.
100%. And what she means is go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Yeah. Send us comments, like us, subscribe, do whatever, so we know you're there. We want to know you're there with us. Okay.
All right, thank you. That
Thanks,
was fun.
everybody. We'll see you
See you
soon.
see you
Bye.
next week.